When I first started real estate, I was broke. I mean, completely broke. I had just gotten scammed out of a $40,000 purchase from the car business. I quit a team that was using me, and every mentor I had was telling me to stay off of social media. They said it was a waste of time and that it wouldn't last and that no one would take me seriously. So guess what I did? I listened. I got off of Instagram, stopped posting, and tried to do things the old way. Cold calling, door knocking, the stuff they told me that truly worked. But deep down, I knew I was missing something massive. I had already built my entire car business through Facebook. I knew social media worked, so I stopped listening to people who were stuck in the past, got back online, and went all in. Fast forward, I drove through the COVID traffic every single day to the most expensive market in Washington. I worked nonstop for 6 months. Social media, open houses, real estate, every single day. And then I closed my first $1 million deal. $30,000 hit my bank account, and I finally had breathing room again. That moment changed everything for me. And the system I built to get there, well, that's what I'm gonna be teaching you in this video. By the end, you'll understand exactly how to turn social media into your #1 lead source as a real estate agent, not by posting randomly, not by hoping it works, but by following a proven system that's brought me clients buying $3 million, $4 million homes, people who've been watching me for months before they even reached out. So if you've been told social media doesn't work, or you've tried it and got 0 leads, this video is for you. And here's what I learned and what most agents still get wrong about social media. Section 1, why most agents fail on social media. Look, most agents think social media doesn't work or it's super easy. Both are wrong. The real problem, they think they already know how to use social media. They don't. They treat it like an entertainment, not a business tool. They post randomly with no strategy and no wonder why nothing happens. And they think it's just about putting yourself out there like Gary Vee says and all these other people that say just post and post and post. And some of the things I hear from people is always the same thing over and over. I tried social media and it doesn't work. It's too much work and it doesn't feel productive. I don't have time to edit videos every single day. I'm not good on camera. Here's what changed everything for me. I stopped treating social media like a highlight reel and honestly started treating it like an email newsletter. You're not trying to sell. You're trying to consistently show. Big difference. If you miss that, your ideal clients get turned off and won't follow you and your videos just won't perform too well. I'm going to tell you something very important. Social media isn't about posting pretty homes. It's about building relationships before they even reach out. This is exactly what I got wrong at first, and I thought views meant business. They truly don't. What matters is who sees you, how they see you, and whether they trust you when they finally message you. So now that you understand why most agents fail, let me show you the exact system I use to turn social media into the #1 lead source. This is the same process that brought me that $3 million buyer who'd been watching me for months before they even reached out. Let's break it down step by step. Here's my exact system for attracting clients on social media. 6 clear steps. Define your ideal client, pick your content strategy, master the video formula, track what actually works, show your face and build trust, and use stories to sell. This isn't about going viral. It's about becoming the obvious choice when someone in your market is ready to buy or sell. Let's walk you through the whole entire thing step by step. Step 1 is the foundation most agents skip, and it kills their results before they even start. Well, why does this matter? Your content has to match the client you want to attract. If you're talking about earnest money all day, you're speaking to first-time buyers. You want to attract people buying $2 million homes with that content. What I realized from my perspective of building my real estate career is that buyers don't care about earnest money content. They don't care about how to purchase a property, and these are the top 3 steps. If you're trying to attract first-time home buyers that are around 500 to 800,000, whatever it is, by all means, go ahead and do so. But if you're trying to attract luxury clients, this is not the way. Those clients have already bought homes and they already know what earnest money is. They already know what down payment is. They already know that they need good credit in order to purchase something. So that's what made me shift my strategy and going away from those top 3 tips for earnest money and more to just instilling confidence, trust, and honesty to my buyers through the power of social media. Ask yourself, who am I trying to attract in my market? What do they care about? What problems are they solving? For me, I chose to go wide, not hyper local to one neighborhood, but statewide. That way I can speak to buyers moving from other cities or even other countries. For example, California, Florida, New York, Texas. These are all feeder markets. That's what comes to the market and that's what disappears. But you need to pick your strategy based on your market. Your content has to match the clients you want. Otherwise, you're attracting the wrong people, or honestly no one at all. Once you know who you're targeting, the next question is what you're going to be posting. The 3 content pillars. The 3 types of content I post are honestly property tours. These are my bread and butter. Sit down videos, which is something like this, stories, lessons, personality, and showing my face. And then all I do is post on my stories, my day-to-day life, the behind the scenes. So like for example, in this scenario here, I have a story on my Instagram that shows behind the scenes of my studio. This matters because property tours attract attention, sit down videos build authority, and stories just build trust. But there's one mistake many people people do. Most agents only post property tours, and that's not enough. You need to show who you are, not just what you sell. So the philosophy is I focus on property tours because they perform, but I also share my life, gym, cars, work ethic. People don't just buy real estate. They buy you because you instill confidence, knowledge, trustworthy, honesty into it. And then of course your page has to be professional. Your stories are human, and that's the balance. Now let's talk about what actually makes a video work. Every video needs three things: a strong hook, the first 2 seconds to grab attention, clean pacing, like clips changing every few seconds, no dead space. Mr. Beast said it right. He's a famous YouTuber, and he said the attention span of humans are very short, and we need to make sure that we change scenes every 2 to 3 seconds or even 1 second in order to keep the attention going. And then of course a clear close, prompt engagement, or give them a reason to reach out. So for example, my property tours, I start every tour by saying this is what $5 million gets you at this price point, or 15 minutes away from Seattle. And then I film it on my iPhone. I filmed it on a DJI mic just like this, $150, and then a tripod that holds the camera. And every 2 to 3 seconds, the music matches the vibe, the clips disappear and reappear, and then I have it go through the living room, the kitchen, the living room, back to the primary bedroom, something cool like the sauna or steam room, and then it goes straight to the walk-in closet in the backyard, and then I have the call to action. Boring rooms, remove those ones. They honestly don't add any value. And at the end, you want to have like the prompt engagement. What's your favorite feature? Would you live here? The 2 other formats I use is walking tours with voiceovers, explaining features, slower paced, under 90 seconds, and then fast-paced, music-only tours. It lasts around 20 seconds, but it's a quick intro, and I just let the visuals do the work. The goal isn't to show every room, it's to keep people engaged from the start to finish and take them through the emotion by buying the home. So for example, on one of my videos, I'll show you, we have this video here, I have the hook. It entertains you in the beginning. It tells you, hey, let's go through the house. It's very fast, very quick. It transitions clips nonstop every single second. And the cameraman's also moving at the right place, the right time. And we're just talking over and over on every single part of the house, keeping you entertained and hooked the entire time, waiting for what's after the video. Sometimes you could put music in the background. Sometimes you could place different captions, different fonts, but every part of the video is very engaging. At this point, you might be thinking like, this sounds like a lot of work. And honestly, it is at first, but here's what changed for me. When I realized that social media is so easy to attract clients, it doesn't feel like work. You get stuck consuming sometimes. You get stuck just thinking that this isn't productive time, that posting has no direct results that come instantly from the work that you do. But reality is, work has become so fun where I post and post and post, and I get clients that come to me already pre-vetted and know who I am because I post my personality online. They trust me and they know that I hustle because I showcase all of it online. They already know me before I even meet them or talk to them on the phone. So when I get on the phone call with them, they appreciate who I am, they appreciate my time, they respect me, and they also don't want to waste it. So it's already a kind of like a pre-vetted system. For example, I just got a buyer that called me yesterday. The wife introduced to the husband my Instagram page, and the husband told me, we got on a 40-minute call, they're looking for 3 to 4 million here in Washington State, and the husband told me, whatever you did, you impressed my wife on social media, so she told me to directly call you, and that's why we're talking. I mean, that's the power of social media, and every one of my deals I've closed from social media. I'll get to that in the later part of this video. But aside from that, social media used to take me so long to edit videos and trying to look for examples, and then you start consuming to realize like, hey, what should I copy from this guy, or should I replicate this from this guy? But then you just get stuck, and then you forget that you're scrolling. But you have to understand that you have to have a strategy, you have to have a power in place to tell you how to do it. You have to have a strategy and the knowledge in place to know how to do it and how to edit efficiently. I mean, I probably spend a max of 15 to 20 minutes on my phone editing a video and then posting it because I know exactly how to edit, I know my brand strategy, and then I also just know how to use the editing tools and what kind of format and structure it should be in order to edit videos. Before, it used to take me 5 or 8 hours, honestly. I used to scroll, try to look for the perfect hook, look for the perfect captions, look for the perfect video, edit the perfect song. It gets so confusing and you start to realize like, wow, this is such a waste of time where you're actually consuming your own product without actually posting it and creating nonstop. The whole point is to create, not consume. It's like getting high off your own supply. It's like when drug dealers say you get high off your own supply. Same thing. This is a drug. It's an addiction. Social media, it could be a whole big rabbit hole later down the road. I'll explain in one of my videos, but it's an addiction and we have to make sure that we create it for other people to watch, but be a positive power force to the world. And that's the power of the system when you dial it in. Step 4, track actually what works. Here's what most agents lose. They post something and they don't know what they're really posting. They have no strategy behind it. I mean, that's just not strategy at the end of the day. You have to track not just views, but you have to track who engaged on your videos, who commented, who shared, who DM'd you from that video. You have to track this yourself, and there's no single page that shows all of it. I mean, Instagram doesn't have a feature to show you everything you need to know. Sure, they have some view insight page, but it's not really everything. But if you're not getting traction yet, it's actually easier to see what's working than if you already get traction and have so many views and then everything's just scattered out out of everywhere. This is what I recommend to do next. Look at your first week or month of content. See what actually drove engagement and not just views, actual engagement, comments, likes, shares, and then double down into that. But make it your brand, your style, not anyone else's. You're not trying to copy anyone. It has to be you. I always say, don't just copy what works for someone else. Make it fit your personality, and that's how you stay consistent. Because if you're trying to replicate someone else, it's not you. It's not true to yourself, and you'll probably feel like a fraud later down the line. And then you also ruin that connection. Step 5, show your face and build trust. You can make all kinds of videos, but if your face isn't in them, people won't connect. Without your face, it's just another random video. People scroll and scroll and scroll, and then they forget. The personal connection is always everything. Just with relationships, no one will trust you behind the screen, but when you're face to face with someone, shake their hand firmly, tell them you're gonna do something, that builds trust and personal connection. And that's why I show my face on every property to where I try to post. While I'm walking through the home, I'm there, I'm showing them that I've recorded this video, and it shows that I actually do this. Same with investment deals. You talk, you explain, you show your face. Relationships, we all know, drive this business. And everyone always says, and you've probably heard this before, relationships are over anything, over money, over wealth. Relationships will always be the most important thing to the world. There was a time where I had a client call me and they said, hey, Wahid, we're thinking of selling our house. In fact, we're actually planning on selling this house here shortly. We're prepping the landscaping, the staging, the repairs, and I use all my trusted people. But when that client called me, he said, Wahid, I already trust you. I know you're the guy. I need you to sell my house. And I love the way you do your social media marketing. And that already built trust with him. He knew who I was. He knew how to say my name. And then some clients even say, hey, I know your name means the one. That means that they actually looked through my website, because on my website, it says Wahid means the one. So I already know that they actually researched me. They know about me. They know who I am. They know my personality. And just from that, I got to double down on a good start with the phone call and double down into building trust, building relationships, and honestly just selling myself to them and showcasing to them that, hey, whatever you see online about me is probably really true. I know my work, I hustle, and I work hard. And it closes the deal every single time. Step 6, use stories to sell the strategy. Here's what most people miss. Your reels attract attention. Your stories sell them on you. What do you want to post in your stories? Well, your real life, going to the gym, cars, day-to-day moments. If you had a really good workout, you explain it and showcase and tell people what you did on that workout. All of this stuff works. And why does it work? People love stories because it feels like insider access. On your page, you look professional. On stories, you feel human and connect with people, and that's what builds trust. Connection equals trust. And how do you use stories for business? Well, instead of screenshotting testimonials, talk about them on video. Instead of just screenshotting something and posting it online with a little screenshot, talk to them the way I'm talking to you. Instead of posting a photo of a gift, record yourself explaining why you chose that gift for this person, but without explaining too much about the client at all. Be personal, be real, and that's why there's a big payoff that comes with it. All of this creates an image, knowledgeable, trustworthy, reliable, capable image. That's what you want. And you have to make it as easy as possible for someone to reach out. They can just reply to your story and start the conversation. That's where the relationship honestly begins. Stories are where trust is built, and that's where leads come from. Now let me show you what this looks like in real life. So I got this lead here and he said, hey, good day, this is my name. I'm looking to sell this house. If you have a buyer for it, let me know. And I'm scrolling and just talking to him directly about it. And I'm saying, well, why hasn't it sold? Why haven't you gone through the pending process? And he's basically telling me that his sister is listing the house and he wants me to list it because of the marketing that I do. And now I'm getting on a phone call with him. I just texted him here right now and I said, hey, did I get the right number? And he's gonna respond back, and then we're gonna conversate, and then obviously I'm gonna get that listing appointment. But that's how you win. He responded from a story of mine, or he just cold DM'd me. So let's talk about real examples now. The one example I told you guys about a little bit was earlier when I said the wife sent my social media to the husband and said, you have to talk to this guy. They reached out, we got on a phone call, took a 45-minute phone call like we already knew each other, and he tested me, but then he trusted me when I answered things properly. And he's looking for a $3 to $4 million home in the next 5 months. And he wants to relocate from a different state here. And the things I asked myself was, how did they find me? What content hooked them? And what did the first message say? Well, all of those I'm actually able to answer. The content that hooked them was the cities that I was posting. The first DM said, hey, what's your phone number? I'm going to introduce you to my husband. And then they've been watching my videos for about 4 months before they actually reached out. Now there's another story. I actually have a cat named Coco, and where I got that cat was from this listing that I got from social media. So without social media, I would have never had my cat. But how did I get that listing? I had a builder reach out to me and say, Wahid, we have this house on market. It hasn't sold, and I see that you do a lot of social media marketing, and we need you to sell the property for us. So what did I do? I got them off the platform by messaging them and saying, hey, what's your phone number? I'll call you immediately. And I called them and built trust. It was actually 3 hours away, which I was contemplating on doing, but I still realized he has good product. He's an investor / builder. builder, and he knows what he's doing. And it's kind of easier to handle someone that knows real estate compared to a first-time seller. So I decided to take it, met him in person, drove 3 hours, and we closed the deal, and I got my commission check. And then of course, that's where I found my cat on closing day as well. Another example was this couple that reached out to me. They've known me for a while now, and they've been following my page, always responding to some stories. And then they finally reached out to me and said, hey, we want to buy this house. Here's a link. Can you make an offer on it? And that's what I did. They were first or second time buyers, and they wanted to buy that house, flip it, and then live in it, but they wanted to just make that house their own. And that's what we did. We made an offer, we closed the deal, and now they're my lifelong clients. And that all came back from social media. And the pattern is this. Most messages look the same. Hey, we're looking to purchase in the next couple of months. Would you be willing to help us? Hey, we're looking to sell. Would you be willing to help us? What hooks them are the property tours. What builds the relationship are the stories. By the time we get on a call, they already know I like cars, I go to the gym, and I'm healthy, I work hard, and I'm locked in every single day. And that trust is built way before we speak. And the call is just the final test for them. If I could hold a conversation, or if I might just this fake persona. The average time frame it takes for a lead to maybe follow me, to reaching out, to closing is probably a 6-month turnaround. 3 months to possibly reach out to me, another 3 months to sell or buy, and then we're closed. The number one objection I always hear is, I don't have time to post every day. When someone tells me they don't have time to post every day, my response is simple. I don't understand how you don't have time for something that literally is part of your business plan. If it was cold calling, you'd spend hours doing it without question, but because this feels easier and more fun, people convince themselves it doesn't work or that it's too good to be true. I'm living proof that it works. I'm a walking portfolio. I get my leads from Instagram, which is living on this piece of device that we have all the time, but they're not cold leads like Zillow where you have to pay $4,000 a month just to pay for some leads that aren't even going to be trusting you. This is about building a portfolio and building trust. On average, it takes about 3 months for someone to reach out. During that time, they're watching your stories, your videos, how you move, how you talk, and how consistent you are. They're deciding if they should trust you before they ever message you. So yes, you do have time to post every day because this is your business. For me, it takes about 30 minutes, 20 minutes to an hour a day to come up with content, film, post, and that's it. If someone tells me they don't have time to get leads, what they're really trying to say is that they don't want more business and they're okay staying stuck in the old way of doing things. The second objection I always hear is, I'm not good on camera. If someone tells me they're not good on camera, I tell them treat the camera like it's a person. If you're filming on an iPhone, call it Apple, like, hey Apple. If you're filming on a Sony, do the same thing. Hey Sony, how are you? And just don't overthink it. Treat it like it's a human being. It doesn't need to talk back. You've had clients like that before and you still showed up. You still explained things and you didn't freeze. Treat the camera like an eye, like a quiet person listening to you. Same thing if you're using a Sony camera, like I said, call it Sony. Everyone is good on camera. It's all just mentality here. The only awkward part is getting used to talking without feedback. If you could control narrative on camera, you could control other situations too. And if you truly can't speak on camera, then this path might not be for you. But most people just haven't pushed through that fear factor yet in their head. And that's how you get better. And that's how you get leads. If it doesn't scare you, that means you're not doing the right thing. Objection 3 is always the same thing. Social media is confusing. I don't know what to post. This is why you need strategy. This is why you can't just wing it. Go back to step 1. Who's your ideal client? What do they care about? And post that. Study agents who are crushing it through Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Model what works. Don't copy, but adapt it to your brand. Number 4 I always hear is, this won't work in my market. If your clients use Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, then this will work in your market. The question isn't if it works. The question is whether you're doing it consistently and whether you're willing to. Now here's the question. Are you actually going to do this? Because I know what's going to happen. You're going to close this video, get distracted, and in 2 weeks you'll still be thinking about posting, but haven't done it. That's not your fault. It's just how this works. And when you're doing it alone, it gets boring. Look, I gave you the full system. You could take this and run with it, and some of you will. But here's what I know from working with a dozen of agents. Knowing what to do and actually doing it consistently are 2 complete different things. Not because you're lazy, but because you don't know how to make it fit your personality, your market, your life. And that's where most people fall off. For example, one of our students, Jordan, he learned how to use social media, and recently he's been crushing it. He's created his own niche by jumping in front of the house. I wish I could probably show you guys in one of these edits here somewhere. And he's achieved so many people knowing who he is in his small town where most people probably don't think that social media even works there. And that's honestly what we do inside of Client Attraction Academy. We build a personalized plan. We hold you accountable, and we give you real homework every week so you just actually do this instead of just thinking about it. We remove that blank space of thinking about it. If that sounds like what you need, the link to apply is in the description below. And if you're not ready for that yet, well, that's fine. Start with this and what I taught you in this video. Post consistently, track what works, put your face in your content, use stories to build trust, and that's it. But either way, stop waiting. Your ideal client is scrolling through Instagram. The question is, are they seeing you or your competition? If this helped, drop a comment and subscribe for more real estate marketing strategies, and I'll see you in the next one.